Kyan Brown, NDSU assistant coach for men's basketball, and also the guy I know who can be positive in absolutely any situation. So I'm super glad that you made the time in your busy day to talk to me.
Thank you so much for having me on. There's a lot of free time going on out there these days. I mean, we try to occupy ourselves as much as time. So when you reached out yesterday about maybe sitting and doing an interview with you, I leapt at the opportunity to come on and talk a little bit. So thank you so much for having me on. Give me a little something to do during the day.
You seem to be keeping busy along with being a basketball coach. You've now taken on a new role as the host of Florentine Kitchen.
It's coming hot at you. You will not believe what we're mixing up today on Florentine Kitchen. You do not want to miss this. Stay tuned.
Did that get started because you wanted to entertain your family or just all your followers? Because everyone loves it.
Well, it probably started because of boredom, to tell you quite honestly, and stuff. And so my wife runs a little blog called North and Nomad on Instagram, and I see her do it all the time. So I was just going to be silly one day. I love to grill. We have a Traeger grill, and every time I have free time, that we love to cook a bunch of stuff up there. So I just flipped the camera around one time, just being silly, being bored, and did one video and just whatever. I don't know what happened. Then all of a sudden I get just enough people that tell me they like it that I get to keep doing it. And I probably need to stop. I need this thing to get over with so I can get back to normalcy, but it's been a lot of fun. And like I said, I love to cook. It's kind of a passion of mine. So enjoying doing it and appreciate you saying those kind of words.
Well, I'm surprised the Food Network hasn't hit you up yet. I mean, the stuff you're making, that's next level. So what have you all made so far? You've made ribs, some steak.
I've made everything I know, which is not very many things right there. So I love chicken. I love flank steak. We've been doing wings. We flirt with that a little bit. So we did ribs the other day because Doc Sally, the assistant coach in Nebraska, he reached out to me and said, I want to know how you do ribs online. People are reaching out. They're sending me their stories and sending me what they're cooking and sending me, hey, this is I'm doing ribs tonight because of you. Or someone, Andy Rickoff, was on Twitter the other day with his bottle of Zesty Italian, just trying to talk about how they marinate and doing all those different things. And it's like cooking is just kind of a little bit of passion of mine, and something I really like to do. I'm not great at it by any stretch. Like I said, I don't have a long menu, but just like I said, just trying to make the most of a time that's slow and different for our profession. And we might do some baking stuff with my oldest daughter, who makes an unbelievable cookie with her. And so we're just going to have fun with it. We're going to get the kids involved. We're going to try to entertain ourselves. And if, like I said, until someone tells me, hey, that's kind of ridiculous, stop it, I just keep having a little fun with it.
I'm going to need that baking recipe. I'm a big baker. I'm not much of a cook, but your kids, they've made cameos. What's the biggest tip that you're teaching them right now that we can also take from that?
Actually, they're teaching me with the technology and stuff these days. My daughter's able to get on it, which I'm not doing any editing on mine yet, but she's able to do amazing stuff with just her iPhone, which I'm blown away with. But my two little.
So you have a producer on the show.
We need to get a producer. I think she wants to be involved. We need to make that happen.
Yeah, I love it. So what all have they learned, like cooking wise, that they're going to take away now and they can put in the show?
Well, hopefully, like I said, we want my daughter, my oldest Chloe, she makes cookies and she bakes, and so we want to kind of maybe do something like that, and they're really, really good. My son's always hanging around me when I'm around the grill right there, just kind of talking to him about the marinades and cooking temperatures and time to flip and stuff. And then my youngest, I think her favorite part is just eating the food. So she likes jumping on there and eating it. But we do silly stuff and just kind of walk around and film some things, get them involved, taste testers. And like I said, you get around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, things start getting a little slow around there. All of a sudden you start an episode of Florentine Kitchen. That'll kill a couple hours while you're trying to cook some food on the grill. So
you're handling things in the kitchen, but she's handling all the schoolwork. Caleb and Chloe were homeschooled for a little bit. So this is nothing new for your family.
No, she's when my two oldest were younger, they started off homeschooling because she wanted to stay home with them. She wanted to spend some time around the kids when they were young and impressionable, if you want to say that. But and then as they got older, even my youngest Sophie, as they got older and it was time to go off to school, you obviously wanted them to be in the school district. So she got a job as a para so she could be in elementary schools and she could get off when they're off of school and be around our kids a lot because she's just an unbelievable mother. And the fact that this thing's going on right now, where we're back doing homeschool, she's just jumped right in. She's got the kids upstairs right now, logged in, crossing off boxes, making sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, checking with teachers. And it's something that she loves. She loves the kiddos. She loves being around them. She loves helping them. And I'm very, very blessed in that regard that she's taking care of business for me.
Is there anything you've overheard or walked in on and be like, they're learning that at that age? Like, I don't even understand.
No, I got halfway through a math problem the other day as they were saying it out, and then I was like, you know what, I forgot all of this stuff. I'm already going in the wrong direction. I didn't even want to stick around and see what the answer was, or I didn't. At worst case scenario, I didn't want to say, hey, Dad, will you come over here and look at this? Because that's the last thing anyone needs is Dad coming over looking at a math problem right now.
Before you go, we have 3 questions for you. 3 quarantine fun questions. I don't know if you've listened to the Ledlow and Parker podcast. If you haven't, great recommendation. Kristen Ledlow and Candace Parker talking hoops, and that would be perfect for this off time right now. If you need to catch up on something.
I might need to check that out. There you go.
Yeah, here's my recommendation for you. But they asked their guests who they would like to be quarantined with. They could pick anybody in the NBA or WNBA to be quarantined with. So I'm asking you, who on this year's roster, a player or coach, would you not mind spending this time with?
You know, I don't know if he's very involved with the NBA. I don't know if he's on a player, coach, or roster like that. But Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
Charles Barkley was my favorite player growing up. I love his personality on TNT. Couple Final Fours in can't remember what city we're in. We got to meet him and hang out with him for a little bit. I love that. If I had to be quarantined with Charles Barkley and got to sit around and hang out with him, pick his brain, personality, I think, you know, if the weather was a little bit nicer, go golf with him, watch that swing, whatever it was. But that'd probably be a personality that I wouldn't mind hanging out with for a while. From
what you've seen on Instagram or Twitter, what is your favorite quarantine meme?
There's a lot of Tiger King ones out there right now.
Have you watched the show?
I've watched part of it. My wife had listened to the podcast before it even came out, and probably my favorite ones are one I can't say, but they involved Carol Baskin.
Did she do it?
100%.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. My mom is in on this. She 100% thinks so too. And then leading into that, what is the best binge that you could recommend for all the viewers out there to watch during the quarantine?
I mean, there's a couple right there on Netflix that I've kept up with. I'm a history major, so I love like history and things that actually happened. So documentaries, whatever you want to call them, but Narcos. The whole thing of Narcos about the Pablo Escobar deal, and it's fascinating how that grew to be such a worldwide type thing. It was fascinating for me because you'll be watching the show Narcos, and then all of a sudden they'll flash to modern day real footage of Pablo or his lieutenants or colonels and so that. So that was Narcos is a great one, and then just wrapped up Ozark season 3, which was suspenseful, on the edge of your seat. Really, really good. And then if you're looking for a little bit of a light side, a little bit of a comedy one right there, you got to get on Schitt's Creek.
I definitely haven't watched all of that. I've started it, but I will say the 3rd season of the Ozarks is absolutely insane.
Oh,
like, it might be better than the first 2, and I was hooked.
Did you finish it?
Yes, yeah.
Last episode. It's
insane. That would be my absolute number 1 pick. This weekend I watched Self-Made on Netflix. That's another good one. About Madam C.J. Walker and how she came up doing her ideas and just how she pulled off that venture. And that was really good if you're looking for something. So
I'll check into that.
Yeah, well, I'm going to have to check in with you in 2 weeks from now or something to get more recommendations. So let me know.
The beard might be a little bit longer by then, but would love to catch back up.
Recipes and Netflix. Got it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the time, and I had a lot of fun catching up with you today.
Elena, thanks so much for having me. Be safe out there.